don't tell her exactly what the date is. Instead, text her something like, I have a fun idea, keep Friday night open. And if she asks you, what is it? You could say, look man, nowadays, if you want to go on a date with a girl, you're pretty much always going to have to text her first. Unless, of course, you've taken one of our boot camps and you know how to easily get instant dates. Hint, hint. And realistically, man, you should have a 70% or higher closing rate. Which means if you got 10 girls' numbers, you should go on dates with at least 7 of them. So if your stats are lower than that, then keep watching. And if your stats are higher than that, then you're the man. And leave a comment down below, let us know what's working for you. Because in this video, I'm gonna show you how to be a texting ninja, and I'll break down the common mistakes that most guys make that prevent her from wanting to see you again, and you need to stop making those mistakes. And I'll show you how to get a date quickly using an irresistible offer, which makes her a lot more likely to say yes. And I'll show you how to prevent her from flaking on the date, and I'll even show you a cool little technique that helps you plant the seed of naughtiness before the date even starts. So she'll get really excited to hook up with you on the date. So keep watching, my friend, because this guy is gonna get you a lot of dates. And make sure to watch into the end because I'm gonna give you a free texting bonus that's gonna take your text game to the next level and show you how to get a date with a woman in less than 5 text messages. Number 7, you need to go for the date quickly and go for it on a high note. When I review my students' texting interactions, I normally see thread after thread, line after line of just texting back and forth, and eventually she's gonna get bored because she's just sitting there texting you, hoping that in the next text you're gonna ask her out, because it's not in a woman's nature to be so forward and ask you out. Yeah, I know we're living in a post-feminist world and women wanna be equal, so you think, well, women should ask me out, but I hate to break it to you, buddy, it just ain't gonna happen. So stop texting back and forth all day long, just waiting for your little shot of dopamine, and go for the date quickly rather than later. I once taught a classroom of 17 women, and I asked them, what is the biggest thing that you don't like that guys do when it comes to dating? And they all agreed without a shadow of a doubt that the biggest thing that turned them off was that the guy that they're texting, that they're talking to, wouldn't ask them out soon enough. Women want us guys to step up and make the move. And the whole point of texting is not to get to know her. Get that out of your mind. That's the point of a date. The point of texting is to get her on the date. It's kind of like watching pornography versus actually having sex with a woman. One is very easy, there's no chance of rejection, where the other one is a little bit more difficult and there's a chance of rejection. But when you actually put in a little bit more effort and risk getting rejected, the reward is so much greater. And I usually don't send more than 5 texts before I go for a date with a girl. In fact, when I usually meet a girl, I start leading into the date on the 2nd or 3rd text. And in the bonus ebook that I'm gonna give you at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I do that, how I get a date in less than 5 texts, and how to do it on a high note so that she's elevated, she's in an emotional state, she's looking at you as a fun, cool, flirty guy that she wants to get to know more, which is the perfect time to go for the date. Next is actually get her on the phone. I mean, actually call her. I know that's crazy to say nowadays. It seems like nobody calls each other anymore, but that's exactly why it's gonna set you apart from everyone else. Now, if you met her during the daytime, which is what we teach you guys on our live trainings, then she already has a sense of who you are. She's already felt your presence. So getting a date with her is gonna be really easy, and all you gotta do, like I said earlier, is just send her 2 or 3 text messages. But if you meet her online, she doesn't have a sense of who you are. You're a complete stranger. She doesn't have a sense of your vibe, your energy, or your masculine presence. So for her to go on a date with a guy she met off the internet where all she's seen is some pictures which could have been photoshopped and read a little bio which could all be false is very dangerous for her. And a woman's #1 concern is her safety. So if you've been texting her back and forth for a little while and you've tried to go for a date with her, but she just doesn't seem to want to meet you, the reason may be because she doesn't feel comfortable enough with you. Basically, she doesn't trust you yet. She can sense very little about you from pictures and a bio, but she can tell a ton about you just from the sound of your voice. Which is why the best place to meet women is in everyday situations instead of meeting them online. Because if she's attracted to you in person and she feels comfortable in your presence, then getting a date with her is a piece of cake. So if you met her online, then get her on the phone. But there's actually an art to do that. You don't want to just call her out of the blue. You need to do it in a certain way so that she doesn't think that you're like really, really into her, and that's the reason you're calling her. So I created an entire video on how to call girls in today's day and age. And if you're meeting a lot of girls online, then I want you to watch that video. I'll put a link to it down in the description. Before we get back to the video, if you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Smash that subscribe button. Give me one of these. I really appreciate it. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know any texts that work for you. Other guys would appreciate it, I'm sure. And make sure to follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM. I would love to chat with you. All right, let's get back to the video. Next is using the compliance ladder to go for a date. This is a simple sales technique, which just means you start small, ask for a small yes first, and you keep building up bigger and bigger to a bigger and bigger yes. So if you're a car salesman, for example, you would just ask, what kind of car do you want? You wouldn't say, hey, do you want to buy this car right away as your first question? You'd start with small yeses, get them to say yes and figure out exactly what they want and what they like, and then eventually you go for the bigger yes and you get the sale. And really, when you think about it, the same is true for any form of escalation when you first meet somebody, because you're going to start small and work your way up. You're not going to kiss somebody right away unless you're at a club and you guys are really drunk. Usually first you start with some kind of formal introduction, like a handshake, then there's a little bit of flirting, and then you build up to a kiss, and then you build up to more and more touching. So instead of saying, do you want to hang out sometime, which is a bigger compliance, it's asking for a bigger yes. And it's also just kind of a vague and boring way of asking her out. Instead, start with a smaller question that she's likely to say yes to. Ask her if she likes something, like, do you like smoothies? Or do you like ice cream? If she says yes, that she likes smoothies, then you could say, do you like getting smoothies with fun guys? And then when she says yes to that, just go to the next step. Assume that's her saying yes, she wants to get smoothie with a fun guy like you, and say, perfect, we should do that. What's your schedule like? Now, to really sweeten the deal and make her really want to go, make it an irresistible offer. Make it sound like something really fun, and just be enthusiastic about going yourself. I don't mean oversell it or lie about it in any way. Don't do that. And I'm also not saying that you should take her to this amazing place, like this really fancy or expensive restaurant or Disneyland. In fact, that would be a really awful first date, because you'd be stuck with her for many hours, and what if you're not into her after the first 20 minutes? Now you're stuck with her going on all these rides. Plus, it's pretty expensive. But what I mean is just pick something that you like to do and talk about it with enthusiasm. And I'm not talking about being enthusiastic or psyched about seeing her, because that could push her away. That could seem like you're just way too into her too soon, which is kind of creepy. I just mean be excited about going to the place that you're gonna go to on the date. So for example, you could say, I know the best smoothie place in all of Chicago. It will change your life. Or if you tell her about a place that she's never heard of, you could say, what? This place is amazing. I can't believe you haven't heard of it yet. You must be living under a rock. With a nice little LOL, so she knows you're being cheeky. Next is drip the deets. What I mean by this is a lot of guys ask me, they say, hey, I set up a date with this girl, but it's not until next weekend, and there's like 5 or 6 days until the date. What do I do? Should I be texting her every day to like build comfort and get to know her and make her like me more? Or should I just wait until the date and just show up? Well, both of those options aren't really good. If you text her every day, it seems like you don't have much going on in your life, and you should be a busy guy. You should have other things that you need to do, such as texting other girls is one of them. And you shouldn't also just wait till the day of the date to text her, because there's a chance that she might have forgotten or she might have made other plans. So instead, just tell her some of the details throughout the week. When you first set up the date, don't give her all the details at once. Give her the time, the exact meeting location, throughout the week. So let's say you were chatting with her on Monday and you guys confirmed that you guys are gonna hang out together on Saturday. Then on Tuesday or Wednesday, I would text her the exact location where you guys are gonna meet up. And then maybe on Thursday or Friday, I would text her the exact time and tell her what time to be ready. And just basically go back and forth with her and work out the logistics. That's it. There's nothing like fancy about it. Just lightly and playfully give her the details. And this will keep you and the date with you on her mind throughout the week. Now, this next thing works really well, especially if she already feels safe with you. Make it a surprise. Don't tell her exactly what the date is. Instead, text her something like, I have a fun idea, keep Friday night open. And if she asks you, what is it? You could say, it's a surprise, I can't tell you. And then a couple days later, start dripping her some of the details, something like, we'll meet in front of Starbucks on 5th and Lincoln, and then we'll walk to the place. That way she knows that you're meeting somewhere public, just in case, if this is your first date, especially if she met you off the internet. That's why I said for the surprise date, it's better if she has a level of comfort with you. You're not a complete stranger from the internet, because a surprise date might seem a little scary, like you're gonna tell her to come straight to your place or something like that. Don't do that. Tell her to meet you somewhere public so she feels safe. You just don't tell her the exact details of the date. Now, the reason this works so well, and it especially works well for a second or third date, because again, she has more comfort with you and she feels safe with you. But the reason it works is because most people love a good surprise. In fact, they're thinking about it all week. I wonder where we're gonna go. I wonder what it's gonna be. In fact, I did this one time, and I took a girl dancing. It was actually to a dance class. And so on the way there, I picked her up. I told her it was a surprise. On the way there, she kept asking, where are we gonna go? And by the way, if a woman keeps asking you, she could start getting mad if you don't tell her. So you gotta know when to playfully say, oh, don't worry, it'll be a surprise, and when to actually tell her what the surprise is. Sometimes you need to do it through texting. If she keeps asking, just tell her what it is. You need to know the difference there. She was just kind of like, oh no, I didn't want to go there. And I said, no, don't worry, you're gonna have a great time because you're going with me. And if you can take a girl to something like that, where she normally wouldn't have a good time, or it's not that exciting, but because she's with you, she has a fun time, and you are the one that makes it exciting, such as doing even normal things like going shopping with someone. That's one of my favorite things to do on a date. Go grocery shopping with her and make it really fun and playful, and then go back to my place and actually cook dinner together. The point is, she starts to imagine what her life would be like with you, which of course is very powerful. It doesn't have to be the most exciting, crazy place in the world. You can be the one that makes it fun and exciting. Now, my next two techniques are very bold, but also very effective. Tell her what to wear on the date. This is especially crucial if you make it a surprise date, because she doesn't know if you're gonna go hiking or going to a fancy club. She needs to know what to wear. Should she wear heels or hiking boots, pants or a dress? And it also takes a lot of pressure off of her worrying about the outfit to wear. Trust me, a lot of women will try on 10 or more outfits before they go on a date with you. Which, kind of a side note, is never ask a girl what she wants to do on the date. Like when you're texting her, don't say, hey, let's hang out sometime. Where do you want to go? Never do that, because it puts all the pressure on her to try to decide on what you want to do. Don't do that. Instead, if you're not really sure where you want to take her, then just give her a couple options of things that you like to do. And what I like to do is tell her to wear heels and a sexy dress, because then on the date, I know she's gonna feel more sexy and sexual and sensual. And this really can plant the seed of sexiness and sensuality on the date. Plus, for me personally, if she tells me she hates wearing heels and she doesn't like wearing skirts or dresses, then that's kind of a disqualifier, because I like women who wear those kind of outfits. Speaking of planting the seed, one of my favorite techniques is to plant the seed. What I mean is basically solidify the idea that you guys are going on a date. You don't need to call it a date. In fact, I don't like calling it a date, because women a lot of times have bad connotations to the word date. Dates are often boring or awkward, or guys are creepy on dates, so I just call it hanging out. But I want her to still feel that we are hanging out like in a man-to-woman romantic or sensual, sexual dynamic. We're not just buddies going to hang out. So one thing I like to text before the date is, don't get any ideas, but I might try to steal a kiss. I almost always get a favorable reply, like, oh yeah, question mark, or really, you think so? winky face. By the way, another way I like to plant the seed when I first meet her on the date is I ask her when does she need to be home, and usually they say, oh, I can be home anytime, and I'll say something like, okay, I'll have you home in the morning. In a cheeky, joking, half-joking way, she usually will start laughing and say, oh yeah, we'll see, or oh yeah, you wish. But that's great because it plants the seed that, hey, we'll see how this goes. Maybe we'll have some fun later, who knows? Now, we're really just scratching the surface here when it comes to texting to getting the date. So I wanna give you a free bonus, my texting cheat sheet, which will show you exactly what to text her if she doesn't reply, and even how to turn her on through text and how to steer the texting interaction into a more sensual, romantic, and even sexual level. So make sure to download it, man. I'll put a link down in the description and to the right of the screen in just a second. And also make sure to check out the other videos on texting and calling girls that we have on this channel. And if you want to dig deeper, not just when it comes to texting, that's very surface level, but actually how to build your confidence, how to be more charismatic, how to approach women in any situation in a way that actually excites them and turns them on within seconds, then check out our live training schedule and join one of our mentorship programs. I'll put a link down in the description where you can hop on a free call with us and we can assess your situation and figure out the best way to get you to your dating goals and become that confident, charismatic man that you know you are meant to be so that you can finally meet, attract, and date your dream woman. Also, make sure to join our free Facebook group because we're always dropping a bunch of value in that group, and it's a great place to meet other wingmen in your city. And if you got any questions for me, hit me up on Instagram, follow me, send me a DM. I'd love to chat with you. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this video and other videos you'd like to see on this channel. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. My name is Matt Artisan from The Attractive Man, and I'll see you in the next video.